Good morning. Welcome to DGS and Project Team's Client Agency Training. My name is Susan Mills and I work for Project Team in the Professional Services Department in Education and Implementation. Today, we're going to talk about the various forms that clients will use and also review in Project Team. If you have any questions, there is a button you can push on the GoToWebinar pop-up window that will allow you to ask questions. Right now I have everybody muted, so that way, because we're recording this particular session and we'll upload it later today to the Project Team DGS website. And I'll talk to you more about this in just a few minutes. So if you are a client and you have not yet received an invitation, you can request this from, John Harmon, or you can send an email to the email address I'll give you in just a moment and request your invite. Once you receive your invitation, you'll receive it in the mail. You'll go ahead and click the Finish Your Account button located in the body of the email. You'll know this is coming from Project Team because it will have a Project Team logo in the email. You have 24 hours, and if you fail to do your email within 24 hours, I'm going to show you in just a minute where you can request a new password. So once you click that Finish Your Account button, you can put in your first and last name and put in a password, and the password requirements are outlined on the sign-up page. So just make sure you follow those and you can sign up very quickly. Once you are ready, you can click the Sign Up button. Now I'm going to take you into Project Team. So the first time that after you've entered your information, enter projectteam.com and it will bring you to our Project Team information page. Go ahead and click Login. And once you click Login, let me go ahead and close this out just so you can see it. The login screen will appear. What I like to do is, I really like to save myself time and not have to do things over and over. So I just go up and grab this address bar, the URL, and I just drag it to my favorite bookmarks, and it's right there. I just click that from now on whenever I open my browser. Now, Project Team is browser agnostic, meaning that you can go ahead and use any browser. Myself, I prefer Chrome or Firefox. I even like Safari, just because I guess that's my level of comfort, and I feel like it works really well. You can also use Project Team along with your desktop, on your laptop. You can use it on your tablet and on your mobile device, your smartphone. And it's really nice if you're walking the field and you want to look at the drawings, you have access to them right there. So it's, very, very fluid across all platforms. Now, the first time I enter my email address and my password that I use for logging in, my email address is my username. Let's say that you did receive an invite from Project Team and you didn't sign up on time. That's okay. Just come into the Project Team page and click Forgot Your Password. And it's going to send you a new link so you can go ahead and change your password. Very, very easy. So I'm going to go ahead and click Login. And for those of you that are new to Project Team that have not taken the Introduction and Navigation, I'm going to show you real quickly where you can find quite a bit of information. You can also watch the startup videos. So that way, you can get yourself familiar with navigation. All of our quick reference guides that we've created, and our quick reference guides are detailed step-by-step instructions that tell each particular group what their responsibilities are on each process. So to download these, click Visit QRGs, and you can scroll down and you can see that we've got everything broken out by the different parties. So client agency, you've got a project request and an email document. I'm going to show you both of those today. But there's also at the very top general use that's really important, because this will take you through all the things that we're training in our introduction class. For those of you who have not taken the introduction class, we have one at 2 o'clock today, and we offer it every Tuesday. And I'll show you where you can sign up for this as well. So on the video page, I did just brief small snippets of the introduction so you guys could go through, and you would be able to review how to update your user profile, action items, and workflows. Tells you how to navigate within a project, and the emails I'll talk about as well today. We will be uploading videos from each of our classes, so that way you can review those as well. If you would like to sign up for the intro class today or next Tuesday, click visit the calendar page. And what you'll do is, in this particular one, the introduction class is a prerequisite. So if you click register now, click the drop down to select the date that you want to take the class. We have another one Thursday, also at 10:30. Enter your first and last name and your email and click register. You'll receive a notification via email that will be added to your calendar. So I'm going to log in as John. He's given me permission to do that because I don't have access to the DGS portfolio project. So in order to train this, you have to have access. Okay, now clients will have access to the DGS portfolio project. So I'm just going to go ahead and put DGS, or just a portion of the project I'm looking for, in the search box, and then I found the DGS portfolio project. And a client agency of DGS is going to utilize this particular form. It's called a project request form in this project to submit a request to your DGS EPM. So the project request form allows for consistent data to be submitted efficiently with a complete audit trail for accountability. So you'll always submit it within this DGS portfolio. If you don't have access, you're going to need to reach out to John Harmon so he can grant you access, or one of the admins. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here, and you can see right here in my favorite form types, John has already set up project request and project budgets. To add it to your favorite form types, just click that edit button and scroll down and find the project request form. I'll click project request, and to create a new one, I'll click the new button. Now I'm going to briefly walk you through, because this is a live project, so I don't want to add any test data, but I'm going to walk you through the fields. You're going to want to enter a brief, you're going to go ahead and enter the project name, enter the project number if the number already exists or has existing funding. If it does not exist or does not have existing funding, leave it blank, okay, in the new unfunded project. So we're going to select one or more buildings or locations from the list for the building, and you'll just click Add Existing, and then you'll click the checkbox beside the ones that apply, and then click Add. You'll want to select the appropriate owner agency from your list, and you're going to populate the owner agency contact with the name, email, and phone number. And the owner agency contact is the client agency primary point of contact for the project. You'll want to populate the available funding, if it's applicable, and you'll select the requested construction start and move out date and construction end and move in date. Okay, and you want to provide a detailed narrative of the project objectives, the project scope description, and the justification and need. And there's some good examples in the quick reference guide, right, that'll show you exactly what they're looking for. And when you've completed the project request, okay, this is as far as you're going to go, right, because the rest of this will be filled in by DGS. You're going to click Save and Share. And let me go back to the register view because I don't want to create anything in this live project.
One correction to that, Susan.
Yes, sir.
The project scope and and the justification of need should be filled out as part of the project request as well. The two fields right below the one you stopped on.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought I said that. Thank you, John.
No problem.
Okay, so once you've shared and saved it, you're going to share it with the appropriate share groups, or just click Save to save it as a draft. Once you do that, it's going to open up the actual document. So I'm going to scroll down and show you where you need to upload your information. So you're going to upload any supporting files not attributable to a specific MOU reprogramming field to the attachment section. Is that correct, John?
Yeah.
So you're going to want to make sure that you upload all supporting documentation. Now, one of the things that we talk about a lot in the introduction is the importance of the activity, the comment section, and the action items. So if you've not taken the introduction or navigation, one of the things that we really talk about is making sure that you go into My Page and that you set up notifications, because people are going to come in and they're going to enter comments, right, regarding the document. They may ask you questions, they may want more information, and you want to make sure that you are receiving this information. So to set this up, you're going to click the ellipsis button and you'll select Set Up Notifications. You'll scroll down to find your project. And as you can see, it says CPO training. I have 2 items assigned to me automatically by default. That's action items and workflows. That means I'm going to get a notification. It's also going to populate up here. But one of the things DGS is asking is that everybody go ahead and select new shares and comments made, okay? And then click Save. You don't have to do this in the training environment, but do it for your live projects. And you're going to click the Save button. Since I'm logged in as John, I'll undo that so he doesn't get a million notifications. But these notifications are really critical to staying on task and making sure that the information is getting updated and approved, within a timely manner. So I'm going to go back into the DGS portfolio. And let me open up that project request document. I'm going to open this item, and up here at the top, after, you've gone through, you've received the comments, if anybody assigns action items, those are taken care of. To generate it, you're going to go ahead and come up here to the print button and click Merge to Template. And you'll click the perf merge template. And you're going to go ahead and click Merge. And what this will do is it's going to create a document that you can save and download. Okay. And this way you can save and download it, and then you can attach it to the project request form. So in the event, let's say that you've taken care of this, but you still need to make an edit to the document before all the final approval and everything is done. If you need to edit, you simply open the project request register and go ahead and click the title and open the document. Now, let's talk briefly about these areas. This shows me who it was shared with. I can look at any time and see when somebody viewed it. I can edit by clicking the Edit button. Once I'm finished, I'll save it to make sure I save all the changes. My action items, if you need to assign an action item to someone, or if someone assigns one to you, they will be managed right here or up in the action item section, or you can view it on the My Page. When you have an action item, you're going to take care of whatever the action item is, and then you'll open it and mark it as complete. You can view all activity on the documents by clicking Activity. This captures everything that's done on a document, so it's great. As you can see, John's uploaded, he has linked to the perf merge document and then linked to the project budget document. So before we go any further, when to submit this document, you want to go ahead, once you've gotten everything ready and you're ready to go, you're going to go ahead and scroll down to workflow. And you're going to, client agencies must use this workflow to submit their perf. So you're going to select this one. So you've got DCPS, government, HHS, and public safety. So you want to make sure that you're within the correct program, select your workflow, and then click Start Workflow. This is going to notify the applicable parties that you're ready for them to review your request. They'll come in and they'll workflow it. Once it's ready, they'll either pass it to accept it or cancel to reject it. John, is there anything else you want to add on that particular item, making sure I cover that completely?
No, I think you've covered it pretty well. If anybody's here from Department of Parks and Recreation, there's a missing workflow. There will be a DPR workflow as well. I noticed they didn't have one in there for that. We'll get that straight. If you have other information for some of these fields in here, you're only required for the perf to do those ones that Susan talked about. She covered that perfectly. But there are objectives and mayoral objectives, city planning objectives. They're all listed in here. As you learn how to use this, you can add those as well, just to speed things along. I know a lot of the clients have used the perf for project requests starting last year or the year before with DGS. So this is just built off of that form that we used to have in Excel. It works the same way, so it has the same questions. Your EPM or whoever you're working with over at DGS will work with you on this to create that project statement for the CIP budget ask, things like that. So it's really just a recreation of that old perf document.
Awesome. Thank you, John. Okay, do we have any questions about this particular document before I move on? If you have questions, feel free to submit those via the question. Since we've got John on the phone, he can make sure that he gives you really good information about this. John, thank you for letting me log in as you. I'm going to go ahead and log out and log in as myself. And we're going to go into the CPO training project. The next thing I want to talk to you about is the emails. Now, emails are great. They're a fabulous way to capture all that information that happens in your email client outside of a project management software. And I'm a real big proponent for this because there's so much information that passes outside. So allowing you to come into the project and, and forwarding those emails into the project allow you to capture that information. So I'm going to open my CPO training, and as you can see, I added emails to my favorite form types. I can't push out, the ease of use this offers enough because adding this, clicking edit, and then checking the box and selecting the items that you want in each of your projects to make it quick and easy to find is, it's a real time saver. So I'm going to click emails. And what happens is this opens up the email form. And at the very top, each project has its own unique email address. So this allows me to forward emails from my email client into Project Team. And so it's really important that, you can go ahead, you want to send any emails pertinent to the project record, but general and day-to-day email correspondence doesn't have to be recorded, but anything that's important that could impact the project, you definitely want to put it in. And to get it from your email client into Project Team, just go in and grab the email address and right-click and select copy or do the Control-C. I'm going to open my email client. Okay, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go to my address group. I'm going to delete this one so I can show you from the beginning. I create a brand new contact. What I do is I give it the project name. And then I come down to the email and I copy and paste. And so it shows up correctly. I just select the file as. Now you'll notice in Outlook, it automatically gives it this long, crazy name, the project A plus the email address. I just remove that and I put the project name in the display as. And then I'll click save. Now, the beauty of this is I can click my email and let's say I've got an email that I need to send in. I'm going to open the email and I can forward this email to the project. So what's nice about it is if you've got this long email string, you don't have to individually send the emails in. You can wait until you've got the long email string. In the to box, I'm just going to select the project name. And if I've got lots of projects, it just makes it super easy to choose my project. And then I can add additional information here, or I can just click send. Now, it'll take a second for this to populate. So once it gets in here, it's going to show that I've only granted access to one person. If I click the blue icon, it shows that I am the only person that has access. Now, you don't have to share it, but it really doesn't do it a lot of good if you're dropping it in the system and then nobody can get to it when the project's over and they need it, right? So I do suggest sharing it with at least one person, you know, the project manager, so that way they have access. And to do that, you'd open it up and click the share button, and you would share it with the appropriate people. In this case, I'm going to go ahead and select my share group, which is a group of people, external and internal. Your share groups are very descriptive. John made sure to make those very easy to know who is in each one. So, you know, make sure you look at your share groups and share with the applicable groups. If I want to share with somebody, one individual, I can go ahead and scroll down and select their name, and then I'll click share. Now, watch what happens here. I'm no longer the only person here. I've added several other people, and I can highlight and hover over their names to know who has access and if they ever viewed it or not. Now, the beauty of this is I can also reference this document to another document. So let's say I'm having this email discussion about an RFI. I'll click the drop down and click Add Existing. And I can go ahead and scroll down until I find my RFI and click Add. Now, it's really important to remember, if I do this, you know, this email and I upload it and I only give access to these people, when I link it to the document, only those people are going to be able to see the email. They're the only ones that will be able to see the email on the request for information. Okay. It's a very, very secure system. So I didn't add John. So if John logged in, he would not see this test email on the reference link for the carpet RFI. So if John needs to see it, you need to grant access, okay? I'm going to come back and go to emails again. As you can see, it didn't take long for the email to get in here. I'm going to open it up so you can see it. It contains everything. It's got, you know, the subject, the date, who it's from, and it shows me the body of the email, which is just great. If I had attachments, it would bring those up as well. That is a great way to capture the historical information in your email in the project. Does anybody have any questions about emails? Okay, let's go ahead and just talk about how you're going to review drawing specifications and meeting minutes. Now, these are all within the project. Let's say I'm going to go to drawings. If I click on drawings, I can see all the drawings in my drawing list. If they have an M around them with a red border, that means they've got a markup. If I want to open the drawing, I just click the drawing title and it opens it up and I can see the drawing within the drawing record. This is a great thing when you're on the job site because you can open that drawing on your iPad or your phone and you'll be able to see the drawing as you're walking the site. The metadata on the drawing is included on the Drawing Details tab. Let me see if I've got one that's got a revision history because I want to show you what that looks like. So my exterior elevators has a revision, and if I scroll down, I can see that it has another revision besides the one I'm looking at. I can click View and take a look at this drawing, the first revision and the second one. If the drawing belongs to a package, it will belong to the package here. And I can click to open the package, and it shows me all the drawings within the package. If you have comments, put the comments here if you've got comments and questions. It's going to notify the owner of the drawing and also anybody that has access to the drawing. So if you've got questions, if you feel that that's the wrong version or there's something missing, definitely use the comments. If you want to look at packages, packages are located on the next tab. You can click any package to open it.
For those of you that are client agency contacts, your comments will go on another form, not within the comments for anything you're reviewing, only because those are visible to everyone and will go to the drawing owners, like the architect, whereas you need to be talking with the project manager as because you're their client. So just for this purpose, you guys that are client agencies, don't use comments during review, please.
Okay, great. That's good to know, John. Thank you. So packages, same thing. You just click the link to open it. I want to show you another way you can view the drawings, which is, this is your drawing log. They're broken down by discipline. As you can see, no discipline was assigned to these. I have quite a few fields here. How I manage this view is I click the three ellipses button and I select configure log. This is user specific, so however you choose to show this information is up to you. It doesn't affect anyone else. So, you can go ahead and check and uncheck the boxes to see what you want to see. You can print the log by clicking the print button, and it will show all the information for the fields that you selected in the view. You can print this page by clicking print this page and either choosing to save it as a PDF or save it to a Google Drive. When you want to close the window, you simply click close window. Now, if you want to look at the thumbnails of the drawings, you can click the thumbnail view and it will show you the actual small version, of the drawing. It takes a second to populate. There we go. And as you can see, I can see just a thumbnail view of my drawings. John, anything else to add on drawings or drawing packages?
No, I don't think so. The client agency request or client agency input that's tied to that, when we talk about that, I think that'll cover anything else we can get here.
Okay. You're going to do submittals as well. So submittals, same thing, but it's going to break it down by spec section. There's submittal packages. I love the submittal packages because on the register, I can see exactly which packages are already here, reviewer action items and notes, and whether it's closed. I can always open the package here. And John, same thing for comments. Those will be made on another submittal package review document.
Yes, for the client.
Okay. All right, awesome. Specifications are managed out of the specifications and specification packages. Again, this is broken down by division this time. To open it up, you just click the title and review the information. Okay, and I can tell if this is linked to a package, so I can click the package title and it opens it up and I can see all of the different specifications within that package. And the nice thing about it is I can click directly from here to open the individual specifications. Okay, so we have covered project request emails, drawings, specifications, submittals. We're going to go over meeting minutes next because meeting minutes is just simply a review. You guys all feel comfortable with just clicking on forms. You can search for your forms very easily. Just click the form title and open it up. Now, this is the meeting register, and this will show, as with any other document, every register shows you the documents that have been shared with you or the documents that you've created. And in this case, these are all the meetings that I have created. If I had any shared with me, they would show here as well, and it would show me who prepared it. I can see over here, if I click the blue icon, I can see who this has been shared with. I can view these, it shows me the latest version at the very top of my register, or I can click show latest meetings only, and it hides everything from my view except for the most current view. If I want to take a look at the meeting, I can click meeting minutes, and I can go ahead and I can review all the information within the system just by scrolling down. It shows me who was invited and whether they attended, shows me where the meeting was held and the date and time, and it also shows me the items that were discussed and whether they were closed. If I have any attachments, they were here. If I have any reference links for this particular item, I could see it, or action items. And if there's any attachments like photos that, they want to showcase, that they could upload those attachments as well. Uploading attachments is very simple. You just drag and drop. Anything, a lot of times we'll discuss the status of RFIs or a status of a particular drawing. It's great to use those as a reference link in documents. Again, you're just going to click add new and then add existing and link to the document that you want the users to focus on. That keeps them from having to go into their email and searching for it and possibly looking at the wrong version. So making sure it's all in the system is going to really help. Comments can be made here, and if it's not a responsible action item within the discussions, right, because we're going to assign those within the meeting minutes themselves, but if you've got an action item and you want somebody to post pictures of what they're talking about, you can create an action item really quickly by clicking new, putting in a subject, a due date. I'm going to put yesterday's date because I want you to see what it looks like. A lot of times, just because I like to stay on top of the stuff I'm assigning to people, I'll assign it to myself so it shows up on my action item list. That way, I can kind of gauge when something's being done, right, without constantly having to look at them. So I'm going to save and share. If I save and share, I can share this with my group, or I can just, save it and share it between the other user and myself. So as you can see, I made this for yesterday. So it comes up with a big red type overdue on 5/18. Let's say I go in and I attach my site photos. I'll click the link for the activity document, and I'm going to go ahead and mark this as complete. So how do I go back and review my action items that I've completed? I'm going to click this little checkbox at the top and click View All Action Items and show complete and obsolete items, or I can do that within the document as well. So I'm going to click my back button bar twice, and I can do this in the management meeting document. And as you can see, I can say show complete and obsolete items. That way I can make sure it's done. So meeting minutes, great way for you guys to review those. And then we've got client agency input. So I'm going to go ahead and click client agency input. This is your register view. As you can see, it comes with just a couple of fields. That's the way it comes out of the box. So when you first see your, like your RFI log and, your meeting minutes, it's going to be very sparse, just a little bit of information. Click that ellipsis, select the configure, and you can choose all the fields that you want to show. Okay, now that's a lot of fields. Let me go ahead and click close so I can see if it's been closed or not. If you want to open one, you click the information, you click the title. You can see that this was shared between John and myself and Mr. Donahue. And I can see all the information that's in here. So to create a new one, I'm going to click new. There's a subject and a date, the agency name, and John, I'm going to need to get some additional input from you on this one. So please feel free to jump in at any time.
Okay.
A contact name, and the type of input. We'll leave the action until it's completed and reviewed, but you want to put in a very detailed description of what you're looking for and the response requested by date. okay? Then you'll save and share it with the applicable parties. Go back to the original one we have in here. Now, there is a workflow. You're going to want to make sure that you attach any supporting documentation, and there is a workflow. So you'll select the client agency input, DGS to client agency. Is that send client agency input form to client agency for response? John, can you make sure that I'm explaining this one correctly?
Yeah, it looks like we're missing another workflow. There should be two workflows. One is to send this to DGS from the client agency, and one is to send it from DGS to the client agency. So I'm putting that in my notes. This form, really, this is your interaction as a client. This is your interaction, your official interaction on the project with the project management team from DGS. So DGS, for example, would use this form to send you over a request to review the drawings and provide your comments, or to approve submittals, a submittal. Not that you're approving submittals, but there are things like finishes and stuff like that that they do want your input on. So this would be the official request from DGS to you as a client for those types of things, which is where that action field comes in. You get the request over, you approve the drawings or you approve the finishes, you would select approved in the action. But this is also for you as a client to be able to say, hey, you know, I see something I want, or I'd like to change something, or I've identified some additional funding that I'd like to apply to this project. I'd like you to add this scope. So this becomes that official request over to DGS to do something on the project, where DGS can have a tracked response back to you, and there's an official documentation of the whole process. So that's the purpose. So this will go both ways, but this is why I said that you shouldn't be using the comments over on the drawings. Is your comments back, if you're reviewing drawings, would be in this form when it comes back over. You'd fill out the fields, put in descriptions. You know, obviously you could use attachments to drag and drop. We don't expect you to write novels within the description fields or something like that. But everything should be in here, and this allows both people to have a record of both sides of the conversation, and approvals or rejections or requests.
Thank you, John.
No problem.
Okay, do we have any questions about the client agency input document? Okay, a couple more things to show you. I'm gonna go ahead and show you how to look at contracts, change orders, PCOs, and basic change directives. So we're going to start with contracts. I just put in a quick search to look at contracts. Any contracts that have been shared with me are going to show up right here. I can click the link to look at the contract. I can see that the contract is approved up here at the top. There's no edit button on approved contracts. I can simply review the information. The contract documentation, signed contracts and everything are going to be attached to the system. Now, it's really important to know that the DGS PM is going to put the approved contracts in the system. They will come from contracts and procurements with all the signed documentation. They will be putting this information in, and the vendors are going to have a contract to use to create a PCO and also to create their payment applications. So they will be in the system, and you can review them. There's multiple tabs across this document. If you click drawings, you can see all the drawings that were attached. You can see any specifications, inclusions, exclusions, and alternates, any other exhibits, and then approved change orders will show up on the change order tab. Again, that's approved change orders only. Any comments, if there is a reference link, it will be right here. Okay, then we've got, I'm going to take you into potential change orders because this is really important. vendors will not be able to request a change order unless a potential change order has been submitted in the project team. We're training the vendors on everything they need to do, but the potential change order log is here. Again, if you don't see the fields you're looking for, click the drop down and select Configure Log. You can open the potential change order here. 2 tabs, General and Inclusion, and you can scroll down and view all the information. Supporting documentation will be attached, and they have to assign, there's quite a bit of information. There will be one line unless there is an approved reason. There's only going to be one line in the cost breakdown. If there's a directive linked, a directive reference, they can click on the link and open the directive reference as well. DGS will have several fields where they're inputting information. And once it's been approved, then the DGS PM, once he receives the approved change order back from contracts and procurements, will create the change order in the system. Now, we are training the vendor teams on every step they have to take in order to be successful in submitting these. But you'll be able to see all the supporting documentation down here in the bottom. There are workflows that are, the vendors have to go through along with the PM and finance to make sure that everything is done correctly. Once a PCO is approved, the PM is going to take the PCO. There'll be a button up here at the top, and he'll be able to create a change order from that. To find the change orders, you just go ahead and click the forms and search for change orders, or just go ahead and click change order from the list. This is my change order log. Anywhere I've got the blue type is a hyperlink, so it's just going to open that document for me. I can scroll down and I can see all the information. This gives me a great bird's eye view into the financial information. So it tells me if there's any previously approved days and days in this change order. It will have all the supporting documentation attached, and I can see the change detail. Now you'll see the source type is a PCO. That means that the PCO was created and they used the PCO to create the change order. So you've got lots of really good information here, plus the supporting documentation. I'm also going to show you the basic change directive. I just start typing the form name and I click basic change directives. This is my log. It's going to be very limited when I first open it up, but I can click anywhere on the hyperlink to open it. This gives me the BCD number. If there's an associated PCO, I can open that document, and it also gives me additional notes. Supporting documentation, comments, and action items are included on this document. Another thing I want to show you before we close out for today, and before we open up for questions as well, is you guys will be able to open the all user access and view the different reports. So all user access allows you to, we've got quite a few default reports in. I know that John and his team are going to be working really hard on creating dashboards and reports that will allow you guys to get a really great view of the detail going on with the projects. The reporting mechanism is fabulous in here. I'm going to go ahead and just double click on a report that I want to open. This is a pretty bland report, but it'll show you what it looks like. If I want to do a dashboard, I can click the dashboard view, and dashboards are portions of different documents. They give me a great visual review. So few things you can do with reports. If you click what I call the hamburger icon, I can export this report in any one of the formats, Excel, PDF, RTF, or CSV. I can schedule a report. So let's say that you've got a budget report. You want to know what's going on in the project financially, and there's a budget report completed, and you need it before you go into your Monday meeting. You can come in and schedule any report you want to show up in your email. And you can schedule the time. You can say, I want to receive it weekly on, Sunday night at 10 o'clock. So when I walk into the office on Monday morning, it's in my email. And you just come in and you would select, weekly. You'd say, what time do I want to get it? You want to give it a name. I'm just going to say test here so I can show you everything else. And you can say when you want it to start and if there's a range of recurrence. Once you get that set up, you can go to recipients and you can go ahead and it's going to say schedule immediately, and you can come in here and put your email and then click finish. And then you'll receive a note, you'll receive that in a PDF or Excel, whatever format you selected. So that's a great way to stay on top of all the things that you're looking at. The directory, you can always see who has been added to your project by clicking directory. Anybody that's got connected with a check mark, that means they're a collaborative user. They can log into the system and they can, participate. If they do not have the green check mark, excuse me, and they have a yellow invite, that means they're simply there as a contact. I didn't invite Liz because she's not on the project, but I wanted, I want to be able to use her on different forms. Okay. If you need help, you can, let me go ahead and I'm going to open this back up. So before we close this out, I want to first ask for questions, and I want to talk to you a bit about next step. My apologies. Okay, does anybody have any questions? You can submit those via the question, or I can actually unmute everybody. Let's go ahead and do that. Okay, so I'm unmuting you guys. Some of you I can't unmute, which means you've got yourselves muted. So if you will unmute yourself, that would be great. Anybody have any questions for John or myself on what we showed you today? Okay. Make sure that you look at our projectteam.com/DGS site. That's where you're going to get a lot of information. Like I said, the quick reference guides, John spent a lot of time working with me on creating the standard operating procedures, and they really outline what each party to the project is going to be doing in each document. So there's a lot of great information in there. Training videos, I'll upload this particular video today, so it will be there. And then training calendar, make sure you sign up and often. Got a lot of stuff we're showing everybody. That's what the training calendar sign up page looks like. If you are a new user and you're a DGS employee, you're going to send an email to dgs.projectteam@dc.gov to request a project team account. For external people, John, how are the DGS clients being handled as far as their project team accounts? Okay. When you become a user, you can send a request to support@projectteam.com if you're having a problem and you can't do something. One of our great support people will reach out really quickly. We have, besides the videos, just the videos we're going to be uploading to the site, we also have some great project team videos on YouTube. If you want to learn more about when we have new features coming out, sign up with Project Team on any of our social accounts. And that is it for today. Does anybody have any questions before I close out? All right. Well, you guys have a wonderful afternoon, and we'll talk to you soon.